Live. All right. What is going on, guys? What's going on, 27 Squad? Welcome back into another edition of the Young Guns podcast. It's a special edition as we get more of a football fix today, and we get to see the New York Giants 2021 schedule release. I'm excited to go through this with you guys, and it should be a good episode, good fun episode. I want to say what's up to everybody in the chat. We'll get to that super chat in just a second. Appreciate you, Mike Nixon. Logan, what's going on? Football with Benny, what's going on? Muzz in the building. It's only Lambo classified with Joel. Is that Joel Yotto?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, Joel.
He has his channel up and running, and I'm gonna tell you right now. Yeah, and he did shave. I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. Joel's channel, bro, it might be a hit. Like
really?
He only has like 2 videos up right now, but it's like, it's about like just living. And he has one about him making pulled pork, and it's just calm, bro. It's just a calm vibe.
I gotta go check it out then. Jaden the champ in the building, my favorite troll in the building. Max Webster in the building. Max, excited to get working with you soon, man. So hopefully we get to do that soon. Logan, what's going on, Logan? Midlife Crisis Logan in the building. And let me get to Mikey's super chat here. $10 super chat. Appreciate you, man. Before we go live too, awesome. He said, "What's up, KB and your Kush?" I have us 9 to 10 wins. I just want to thank you for you two for being my bros. Always asking how I've been doing with my recovery, my mini stroke. It's been hell of a year. Just thanks. We appreciate the subs like you, Mike, and we always love talking to you, man. For been a couple years now too, Mike. So we're all growing together. We're all growing
Facts,
together.
Mike. I mean, you the bro, man. We always talk like constantly on Discord, and I love the fact me and Mike, we could talk about football, the Knicks, or just something random. But he's
Mike
also
is a smart
like,
guy.
yeah, he's also just a chill dude. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he realizes like that we're both busy as well. So sometimes if I can't hit him back right away, he immediately knows why. Like, you're a bro, Mike. Thank you, man.
Yeah, we appreciate you, Mike. You're definitely one of my favorite subs out there, man. Yeah, glad you're doing well. See, we got some more support in there for you, Mike. So it's saying what's up to everybody else. Edward Chan in the building. What's up, Joseph Balby? What's going on? If I miss C Bands in the building.
Marjorie in here as well.
Marjorie in here as well. Yeah, I'm trying to get to everybody. Well, when we first start. But appreciate you guys joining in here. We're gonna get to the schedule in just a second. But first, let's talk to you, Coach. How you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm doing good. It's finals week, quote unquote, for me. But with the way my college is, and also because like classes are online and whatnot, it's more so like finals 2-3 weeks, to be honest. Like, I'm only really concerned about one class. It's like a computer architecture class, which is studying like how CPUs are made and stuff like that. And it's just that class is gonna give me a lot of problems for that final. It's actually exactly 1 week from now. My other classes I'm actually relatively fine with, but I just got a bad feeling about that one, man.
Oh man. Well, hopefully you get to passing it, man.
Hopefully, man. If everything's good with that, like, I'm actually technically supposed to graduate early, but because once again the weird rules implemented because of COVID, I have to now spread it out over 2 semesters. So I'm no longer going to be graduating early. Oh, so that kind of takes away an accomplishment that I really wanted to hit.
Freaking COVID, dude.
Yeah, man. It really just made a lot of weird guidelines be made with the way classes have to be given, and so now a lot of things are thrown out of whack.
Well, listen, man, I give props to you, dude, because I couldn't do schooling. I couldn't do it again. Once I graduated high school, I'm like, I'm not doing this again. I just got out.
You got a house, bro. You know what I'm saying? You good.
Yeah, but listen, when it comes to the end of the day, although you're not making the money right now, what you're doing, you're going to be making freaking triple the amount I'm making.
Yo, soon, listen, bro, I hope, but hey, hopefully this is going to be
right. This takes off, right? I quit my post office job too. Hopefully this takes off. But appreciate you everybody for joining in. We're going to get to the schedule in just a second. Want to bring up some recent news as well before the schedule drop. Sterling Shepard changed his number from 87 to 3. Now, this is the first New York Giant that I've seen that changed their number.
Not second, because I think we all know Peppers is definitely going to change to 5.
It hasn't been confirmed yet. Yeah. It hasn't been confirmed yet. I think he's probably working it out with Gano still. But
I don't even think that's it, because I don't think Gano would have a problem giving up. I think Peppers is probably trying to figure out whether or not he wants to buy out his remaining stock, Like Shepard decided obviously immediately, yeah, I'm going to buy out my remaining stock.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what's taking long. He's still trying to decide, like, am I really about to drop like $1 million, $2 million on on unsold jerseys to get this number, or
Yeah.
would I just wait the year?
So here's the thing, though. When you change your number at any time, you have to do that, because I never even seen that before. Like I've seen people.
I don't think it's literally just if you're changing it because of the new rules, like going to a single digit.
Okay.
Because regular number changes, obviously,
They happen all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
like
with this,
Joey
it's because like it's such a drastic change, I guess, that they have to buy it out. But I mean, they're the second option, which is probably what Peppers might do. You know, if he's feeling a little iffy on the buyout, is just wait 1 year and then next season it would automatically change. You don't have to pay anything.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I assume it's because the season is so close, maybe, and that's why they already have the jerseys already preset.
Probably.
It's probably what's going on. But listen, Sterling Shepard's, his reasoning for getting that number 3 is all, his father used to wear number 3. His father passed away, and that was his whole draft story. Coming into the draft, that's what made me fall in love with him as a prospect coming into the draft, getting to know Sterling Shepard. So of course he wants that number 3 back on him. So that's gonna be fun to see, man. It's gonna remind you a lot of like Victor Cruz. Because Victor Cruz wore number 3 in the preseason.
But it was only for a short while. I know.
Feel like
it's just going to remind me of Shepard, to be honest.
The thing is, we never seen a wide receiver in the NFL with a single digit, and just seeing it in a Giants uniform, it reminds you instantly of Victor Cruz.
And speaking of jerseys and numbers, I'm pretty sure that's why it's taking so long for the Giants rookie numbers to be announced. They're probably negotiating with unretiring number 1 for Tony. I have a feeling that's what it is. Because like a lot of other teams have already announced their rookie numbers.
I don't think they'll unretire a number, though. I just don't think they would do that.
Here's the thing. I don't think they should, but I think they will. I actually think they will. I don't think they should.
Kadarius Toney, though, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I think they will. I mean, there's like literally.
But who has number 1?
The mindset you have right now about that is the mindset I had about this whole rule passing in the first place. To allow like basically receivers to wear whatever number they want. But the reason it happened is because fans apparently, they were pushing for it for years. At least some fans, not all of them, of course, were pushing for it for years. This is another one fans have also been pushing for years. So unretired numbers like that have been retired for like decades or something.
Ray Flaherty. Yeah, I can understand that. Like, I guess Y.A. Tittle is still a little too I don't know, because he's such a prominent name. Probably
Y.A. Tittle should never get unretired.
Yeah. So like, if you want to go like really back in history, I don't know. Is Emlyn Tummel, whatever his name is his jersey retired?
I could look it up. I don't know.
He's like an all-time Giant, all-time great Giant defensive back. So I don't know who's hashtag give Tony 1, but I mean I don't know how I feel about
45.
It 45.
I think 45 is still in use.
It's
right?
still up. Yeah, Will Tye was 45.
Yeah.
That's weird. Why they would not retire that number? But I'm still getting used to it. Although for a couple years now, I wanted it just as much as anybody. I wanted that to happen. But now that it's actually happening, like I like Jabril Peppers wearing 22 or 21. I like him wearing 21. Like it's just aesthetically pleasing. I don't know how I'll feel about him wearing 5. Like I don't know how I'll feel about that.
And this is what I was saying about it as well. Like kind of like Edward was saying, it's not personal. I just don't like the idea of changing, and I'm not going to get into the whole rule change itself, but I personally don't like the idea of like wide receivers wearing like single digits. It's just a personal preference. I feel like the NFL should stay separate from college. Every single day goes by, it's like pro football is becoming more and more like college football. I'm like, there needs to be like a separation, a distinction. There's a reason, for example, that like every single position has a learning curve because the NFL is just a step above college football. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like they're adapting, and I know we're talking about jersey changes here, but we see it in the playbook as well. They're adapting so much to make it easier for college kids to come to the NFL that eventually I feel like it might be college football 2.0 like 20 years from now. Maybe that's me being extreme, like going to the extreme, but I really feel like there should be like a nice distinction between college football and the NFL. With that being said, my take on veterans changing numbers, I was saying I don't know why vets, and what I mean by vets is guys that's been in here for more than their rookie contract. That's what I'm using because, the average NFL length career is not long. It's pretty short. So for the vets, by the definition I gave earlier, I'm surprised a lot of them want to change back to their college number because at this point I thought they would have been like, you know what I'm saying, I'm building something in this new number, especially for Peppers. I was like, I thought he would have liked to build his NFL legacy in 21. I didn't know they were that attached to their college number where it's like they don't want to build something
Yeah,
new
that's the
in
thing.
their number.
I actually don't think he's not attached to 21 because I mean, when he was with the Browns, he wore 22. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like he's not really. I don't think he really cares about the 20s. It might mean something like for the veterans, it might mean something. Like Sterling Shepard, he changed the 3 because of his father. It might mean something. I don't know. I don't really
And
know.
like, cause it's I'm like, yo, you build your legacy in what you do in the NFL. I'm like, does anybody remember what Lawrence Taylor's number was in college? Was it 56? That would actually be kind of funny because then my example just goes out the window. But like Michael Strahan, you know what I'm saying? Like he's 92. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? He's not whatever number he was in college.
yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, I still don't know how I feel about it because like
And that's
although I
just a
thought
personal thing,
right,
for me.
although I thought Tom Brady's comments about it were kind of whinish. He kind of has a little bit of a point, especially if you're like a young quarterback and you're trying to identify a defense, and you got like a crazy like Patrick
Well,
Graham's
no,
defense.
that's where I disagree with. I feel like young quarterbacks would have a better time because once again, that kind of goes into adapting it for younger players coming in.
Right, but you got to think NFL defense is so much more complex than college, and when you got like Patrick Graham's defense, and you got like freaking defensive backs and linebackers out there, and they're all mixed up, and they're basically wearing the same numbers, it could be kind of confusing. You know what I'm
The
saying?
only way I could see it be confusing is if he mixes up a small linebacker with like a safety or
Right.
something.
Just think about like Jabril Peppers. He's going to be wearing 5, and he's probably going to be playing a linebacker spot. They're going to
But
identify him as a
and
linebacker.
I know this is gonna sound weird because now I'm defending it, but that's what watching film is all about, man. That's why
Yeah,
you prepare for the
yeah.
game.
It is, and that's one thing I thought was a little whinish, but I could understand his point. Tom Brady should not even. He's freaking Tom Brady,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, let me get to Mike Nick's comment. He really wants me to read this one. He said, "I want to say now, getting away from mushy mushy. I know I now have us losing to the Chiefs. I said if we played them week 1 or 2, we had a chance because of the offensive line not gelling week 1 or 2. What do you think about that?"
Well, I'm not gonna respond to it yet because I'm gonna save that for what we're gonna go through the schedule game by game. So, Mike, unfortunately, you're gonna have to wait until we get to the Chiefs, which is week 8, I think, right?
Yeah.
So whenever we get into that.
Yeah, I listen. As much as I love our chances this season, the Chiefs game is one of those games that I'm not going to put too much stock in as a Giants fan. Like, oh yeah, we're going to win this game. This is probably the game I'm probably most fearful of. And I'm not even fearful of a lot of games on this schedule, but this is probably a game that I'm like, this could be a L. But of course, we're gonna keep rooting for them. But I don't know how. We'll have to see what happens first. I'm not going to chalk it up as a winner or a L yet because I don't know how that Kansas City Chiefs team is going to be, if they're going to stay as great as they are, or maybe their offensive line gives them problems. But listen, their offensive line, I know a lot of people will talk about if they're
They
going to gel or
overhauled
not.
it.
Yeah, if they're going to talk about the offensive line, these are experienced guys, man. You got freaking what's his name? Orlando Brown from what's his name?
That was
Oklahoma
their first
center
round pick,
tackle.
man.
Yeah, that was a first round pick. They brought in Thuney, right? Thuney, whatever his name is. And who else did they bring in? They bring in a bunch of guys, and their offensive line is literally completely different. But at the same time, it's all experienced guys. These aren't guys that are scrubs. Like these are all like really good players. They're gonna be able to adapt. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, let's go on to the schedule then. Let's talk about the schedule. I'm gonna pull it up here. I'm going to try to bring this up on its own. I'm trying to make it look a little better, but it's whatever. Share screen.
By the way, real quick, guys, if I do go to a game this year, and I really do want to get back to going to a game this year since they're allowing people, I'm gonna let y'all know. I usually go to games late in the year, just both because of school reasons and also because it's kind of like a birthday present for myself since my birthday's in December. It's gonna be one of those last 3 home games, which is funny because it's our last 3 home games are against Philly, Dallas, and Washington in order. And you know what? It might be Washington. I'm looking at SeatGeek right now. So far, the Washington game, week 18, has some pretty good deals on these tickets. So, I mean, yeah, man, I would not mind going week 18 Washington, bro. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that would be cool. I wish I could go to a home game. Maybe I could try to get to a home game this season, but I'm definitely
Yo,
going to go
listen,
to
bro.
the game.
You might have to decide, Sue, because it's limited capacity. But I'm going to say this. The reason I would love it so much is because I know for a fact it's gonna come down week 18 between those two teams, bro. And they're playing week 18 between who gets the NFC East.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, man. That game, and of course we're gonna talk about it more in depth. But I love that last game for us. It's a team that we always beat up on. It's two teams that probably will have like the NFC East crown implications, and it's at home. Like, how can you get any better than that? I really love the ending stretch of and they're all home. Look, we're at home.
Yeah,
for
our last 3 home games
2,
are
3, 4,
Philly,
5,
Dallas,
6 in a row.
Washington, bro.
6 home games in a row.
No, we don't have 6 home games in a row.
Did I say home right there? Home.
Where?
Home.
I can't see your mouse.
Huh? The lot. Oh, you know what? Never mind. That they're going this way.
Yeah,
right?
I was about to say we don't have.
I was about to say, dude. But
our last 3 home games are Philly, Dallas, Washington, which is hilarious to me.
Oh yeah, Philly, Dallas. Yeah. So all right, let's start off with week 1. Let's start off with week 1. Denver Broncos. I'll be honest with you, man. Everybody's chalking this up as an instant W. I don't know if it's an instant W.
I chalk it up as an instant W.
It's definitely not. It's definitely not the team I wanted to play. I wanted freaking Philly. I don't care. I know they have our number.
For the second year in a row, we're playing Philly like
all the way at the end.
Yeah.
And I feel like they did that on purpose.
No, that's 3 years in a row, actually, where we kind of played them a little bit later.
And I feel like they did that on purpose because they know we have that beef with Philly. It's kind of building up tension for these two teams, which I don't really like too much. I really just want to get one of those games out the way. I would have loved for the Giants to play the Philadelphia Eagles at home and just beat them up, in week 1 and set the tone for the season. But the Denver Broncos, man, here's the thing. I don't think we will lose that game from Denver's offense, okay? I think their defense may be a little troublesome just because Bradley Chubb's coming back. We'll have to see how that offensive line holds up if Andrew Thomas comes back in a good form. And they have a really strong secondary. It's pretty damn strong. So we'll definitely have a test on what our weapons can do this season. And it's definitely going to be a test for Jason Garrett. This is going to be Jason Garrett's pretty much his first regular season game with those new weapons. How is he going to utilize these guys? Is he going to, veer off from that vanilla offense that he had last season? Or is he going to have a slow start and then work his way to a more advanced offense this season? Is he going to still have a sort of a conservative approach to the offensive game plan? That's all questions that get to be put into play there. They've got 3 really good corners over there in Denver.
Listen, I'll tell you right now, they had a great infusion of talent in the offseason, especially with their secondary. And it all depends on how improved you think that makes them, right? So at the end of the year, for the 2020 season, the Broncos, and this is why I said I don't know why people are acting as if they're a godly defense all of a sudden. The Broncos were the 25th ranked defense in the NFL in 2020. So unless you think their infusion of talent, which once again, they had a really good additions in the offseason, like bumps them up 20 spots or something, I'm looking at them as like an average defense, above average at best.
I agree. It's just that, I don't know. It's a little thing sometimes. And I guess it's because I'm not used to, as a Giants fan, winning in week 1. Week 1 has always been a troublesome game for the Giants. We won week 1 in 2016 against Dallas. And when was the last time that happened? Did we win week 1 recently?
No, it was only 2016. That's it.
2016, right? And then before that, it was not in a very long time. I think it was since 2011 when we won the Super Bowl, or 2012 after the Super Bowl.
And listen, I'll tell you this, right? Let's say the Denver Broncos passing defense is really that good, and they were the definition, just like the Giants, actually. They were average last year. The Giants were the 16th best, and the Broncos were right behind us at 17th best. And I expect both of them to improve. Like, I think the Giants are probably going to be somewhere around 12, 11, 10, hopefully above that. We'll see. And the Broncos might be right there with us. They can't handle Saquon. They were like the 26th rushing defense last year.
And they did not. I don't even think they got better on the interior as well. I think they maintained Shelby Harris, but I don't think they got very good on the interior. And listen, Bradley Chubb is probably going to be coming back this season healthy, but I mean, he's always hurt, so he probably be a little hobbled when he comes back. But like I said, I don't know how I feel about this game. I don't know.
It all depends on how much you think that defense gets a bump. Like, if you genuinely believe they're a great defense, which in my mind is top 10, That means they jumped 15 whole, spots basically. That's a
Right.
massive improvement, which isn't impossible, but it's going to be up to each person to judge, the returns of guys like Miller and Chubb and the additions of the guys in the secondary, how much better that makes that defense.
Now, how do you feel about week one? Who's going to be starting at quarterback week one for Denver? Is it going to be Teddy? Is it
It's
going
going
to
to
be
be
Drew
Teddy.
Lock?
It's going to be
And,
Teddy.
and how do you feel that affects the Giants'
Here's the
chances?
thing, bro. It's going to be, and I said this in my video, and I had a couple angry Broncos fans. I actually had an angry Giants fan in my comment.
Dude, you get those. I don't know. I get them too. I don't understand.
I'll read you exactly what this man, let me read you exactly what this man said, bro. Let me read you. He said, we're losing 31-24. We didn't play well at home. We better on the road. And even though we lead the series 7-6, I do believe, just like Peyton Manning, A-Rod will sign with the Broncos.
He's not going to sign. First of all, you can't
a
sign with
Giants
the
fan.
Broncos. He's under contract with the Packers. He's going to sign with the Broncos.
He made another comment right after. He says, I think you underestimated the Broncos. I believe the Broncos have a way better defense than us. They still got Von Miller, and he could create havoc on each side of the ball. I don't think our offensive linemen will be strong enough to hold them, and knowing Jones, he will fumble. That's a Giants fan.
Here's the thing. I want everybody to pull up. Everybody is like chalking up Daniel Jones to being this fumbling machine still. I mean, when was the last? I mean, how many lost fumbles did he have in the last half of the season? I mean, I know he had issues in the beginning of the season, and he did fumble the ball a couple of times due to the pass rush. But he really cleaned it. Like, he cleaned it up so well. That's why. What was it, PFF, or was it at the NFL itself? But like, put him as the most improved player for 2020, even though he only had like 12 touchdowns,
Yeah, I don't know. It was one of them.
But that being said, look, Daniel Jones really improved this game. The fact that everybody still thinks that he fumbles all the time is ridiculous.
We're used to that because we're DJ Stans. Remember now, we were called DJ Stans. The one thing I can't believe this guy, as a Giants fan, said is that the Broncos have a way better defense than us.
That's ridiculous.
What?
First of all, you could obviously see the holes in Denver's defense. Like, they're a good defense. They're going to be better this year. But you look at the interior defensive line, it's not fantastic. And their edge rush is okay when healthy, but the problem is these guys can't stay healthy. Bradley Chubb and Von Miller has season-ending injuries, similar to the Giants, but we were able to, I guess, adjust to that, and we were still able.
We have Patrick Graham.
Exactly, we were still able to kind of create a pass rush still, but once they lost Bradley Chubb and Von Miller, it was downhill from there. They were missing Shaq Barrett at that point.
Bro, we lost. Let's actually full out. We lost our top 4 edge rushers. Our top 4. Our edge rushers for most of the season were our 7th round picks and guys that we signed, on the waiver wire, basically. Mm-hmm. We lost our top 4 edge rushers and still was one of the top 10 pass rushing teams in the league, right? That has a lot to do with Patrick Graham, a lot to do with Leonard Williams having his, career year, and a lot to do with, our secondary kind of outperforming their expectations.
Right.
But, we lost our top 4. They lost their top 2. Yeah, I know it's 2 different things, but, I'm just backing up your point there.
Yeah, of course. So, and on top of that, if you look at our strength on our offensive line, a lot of people are going to be talking about the pass rush, stuff like that. The strength in our offensive line, I mean, it is the tackles. Even though it's still a big question mark, it's still a tackle. Andrew Thomas, I'm confident in Andrew Thomas. And then if Nate Solder or Matt Pierce starts, I honestly think one of them are going to be ready. I think they're going to do just fine there. If you look at our weakness, it's probably going to be the interior, and not even like the whole interior. I think Nick Gates is fine. But it's like the guard spots. But what is the weakness for Denver is the interior defensive line. So I don't have a problem with their defense at all. I think we match up extremely well against them.
Bro, like I said, even if that secondary becomes a serious problem, which it can, Saquon is just going to run up and down on them, bro.
Exactly. So I feel like you're convincing me a lot more. Just seeing this from the first glance, I'm like, I'm not chalking it up as an easy W yet, but
you know what? You're completely right that you shouldn't chalk it up as an easy W. And I'm going to be completely transparent when I say I am letting my bias take over a little bit. You should never really chalk up anything as an easy W, but it comes down to this, which is why I said our defense is going to be fine against them. I'm not too worried about their defense. Maybe I'm underestimating it a little, but I kind of gave you guys the facts and the rankings and whatnot. I'll say this, like Edward said in the chat, it all depends on how our offense performs. It does.
Yeah, and on top of that, even though we're all probably the biggest concern for Denver is their defense, the biggest concern from them to us is our defense. Like our defense worries them a lot because
like our defense, and I think it's going to take getting used to it as Giants fans, considering our like recent years. But our defense, pray to God that there's no weird drop off. It's going to be a problem for teams to worry about week in, week out.
Yeah, and on top of that, they could be excited about their weapons all they want, but we have the depth.
We have more weapons.
Exactly, we have more weapons on. I'm talking from the defensive side of the ball to match up with their wide receivers. They got Jerry Jeudy, Cortland Sutton, and KJ Hamler. These guys, but we have some dogs for defensive backs, man. I mean, we got all the depth in the world. I mean, we still if Isaac Yiadom still makes the roster, Rodarius Williams at the back end of the roster. I mean, that's a solid cornerback depth chart. I mean, you could pretty much throw anybody out there, and they'll do a good job. So,
and you were asking earlier between Teddy, to get back to that, and Drew, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, this might be a hot take. Like, don't be surprised if Drew Lock just doesn't start at all this season, because I'm not a believer in Drew Lock. I think I've told you all that a couple of times, and I have an ongoing bet with my friend to bed. The bet was basically we made it in Daniel Jones' rookie year. So this was 2019. But the bet was in 4 years, Daniel Jones will be a better quarterback than Colin Murray and Drew Lock. And we were like, all right, how are we going to judge this? I was like, all right, well, first of all of them actually have to stay on their team and start for a legitimate amount of time. And I'm like, I guess we'll judge by stats and Pro Bowl appearances and whatnot. And I was always thinking to myself when I made that bet, I'm like, this is really just between DJ and Kyler. Like, I don't believe in Lock at all. I think that Teddy's a better quarterback. And even if Lock starts, and given that I think he's, I feel like worst is a harsh term, but between the two, Teddy is the better one. If Lock starts, I feel like it's a guaranteed W for sure. If Teddy starts, he's going to make some good plays. But I'm not losing sleep over it. But I'm definitely taking it seriously, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm definitely not like going to be worried about Teddy Bridgewater. Although I like Teddy Bridgewater, I did like him coming out of the draft in 2014. I thought he was extremely underrated, but I at this point of his career, I really don't feel like he's going to be too much of a threat there. And as far as their running game goes, they got their new running back, Javonte Williams, and
they still got Melvin Gordon.
They still have Melvin Gordon. That could be an issue. I don't know.
For me, I'm not. I'll tell you this. I ain't worried about Melvin Gordon. It depends on how good Javonte Williams is at the second level.
Yeah, it's never good news when you have two capable running backs that you could interchange. It could wear down a defense a lot. Mm-hmm. So, and we still have to see how the Giants are going to adjust.
Which running back last year did the most damage against us?
That's a good question. Because I know we locked down the entire NFC East.
We did a very good job, a great job at just being a run defense.
It could have been. Was it the Rams?
I'm gonna this is gonna be hilarious because I got to go through all of it. I'm just gonna pull up the Giants schedule and literally go through every single game and see what's up.
It might have been the Rams. I mean, they didn't get a lot of yards, but they got a lot of good yards. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were able to keep the ball moving, or keep moving the chains.
It might have been the Rams. You're right. No, Boston Scott killed us at the end of the game. But when I say kill us, I mean throughout the game and whatnot.
One says Kareem Hunt with the Browns. Oh, did the Browns run on us? No, but I don't know. Did the Browns run over us? Not sure.
So I'm going in here. Oh, Benny Snell actually killed us week 1. He had 113.
Oh, yeah. On how you want to view that. That pissed me off. That was when we were still adjusting that, at the beginning of the season.
David Montgomery, I would say he was kind of contained, only 82 yards.
Oh, yeah, and he got like 40 of those yards at the end of the game. Like, he was completely locked up. Yeah, I remember that game.
We actually locked down the Browns. Their leading rusher was Malcolm Brown for 38 yards.
Yeah.
I mean, the Rams. Looking at the Cowboys, Zeke had 91, so far still Benny Snell. Washington game 1, ain't nothing to worry about. We go over to the Eagles game 1, and nothing to worry about. Buccaneers, nothing to worry about. Leonard Fournette only had 52 yards. Bengals, nothing to worry about. Gio Bernard only had 32 yards. Seahawks, nothing to worry about. Chris Carson only had 65 yards. Cardinals, Kenyon Drake had 80. Browns, Nick Chubb had 50. Ravens, Gus Edwards had 85, and Lamar had 80. And
Probably the
J.K. Dobbins
Ravens.
had 70. So I'll say Ravens, which makes sense. They're like the best rushing team in the
Yeah,
league. But it was that
they're.
trio of
Mhm.
the attack of Lamar on the ground, Gus Edwards, and J.K. Dobbins. So far, that was the best
And they killed
any rushing
everybody.
team has done about us. Yeah, that's literally it. And then we closed out against the Cowboys, and Zeke had 42. So literally only one team, I guess you could say, killed us in the rushing game.
Mhm.
And it was with a three-headed attack on the ground. Considering how we did last year, I'm not sure if I'm too worried about Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and of course I have the question of how are the Giants going to adjust without Dalvin Thompson, but I'm not too worried about it anyway. But
I mean, Danny
I guess
Shelton's going to be there purely for running downs.
right. I guess we could wrap up the Broncos. We spent a lot of time on them.
Yeah, I'm gonna chalk it up as I'm gonna have my own W win loss tracker right here because I'm sure there's gonna be games we disagree on. So I'm gonna go with Broncos week 1 as a W.
Okay, I'll say W. All right, so let's move on to week 2 and September 16th on a short week, Thursday night football. I noticed that we have 2 Monday nights, and those are very
We
interesting.
are the first team on Thursday night football this year, I think, because they
yeah
tweeted
we are.
out
They don't have one on
they don't have one on week 1. Yeah, so
they've
that's
been doing
kinda,
that for the past couple of years.
how do you feel about very early Thursday night football? I mean, I love the matchup because this.
I mean,
Yeah.
and let me tell you what, someone has to look up the stats on because we always play Washington in a Thursday night game since as long as I can remember.
No,
And
we usually play Eagles Thursday night.
but we've played Washington a lot Thursday night, and we've always demolished them. I remember one particular game in 2014 when we had Odell. I don't know if Odell was playing in that game yet, but we beat them like 45-14. Larry Donnell had 3 touchdowns. I mean, it was just a monstrous game. But usually when we play these teams, when we play Washington on Thursday night, we whoop them. And at their house too. And this is at their house. I'm instantly gonna say this, dude. It's a dub.
Washington fans are gonna hate me.
It's a dub
because I'm also saying it's a W. And before I explain why, the reason they're gonna hate me is because I genuinely have a sweeping Washington again. But here's the reason. I actually this is gonna sound so convoluted, guys. Hear me out. Chat, calm down. And the thing is, I have a good amount of Washington fans on, that follow me on Twitter and also that follow the channel.
Shout out to King Sean.
Shout out to King Sean. Listen, Washington, before the schedule release, I had in my mind, we're definitely splitting with them. There ain't no way we sweeping them again, right? You know what I'm saying? And I said until they beat me, they beat me. But in my mind, I'm like, they're probably gonna split with us. Then the schedule release, and I'm looking at it, I'm like, we have them at the very beginning of the season and at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, at the very beginning of the season, we're a better team than Washington. I'm sorry, we are. And we own them. This is literally continuing in from last season. I can see us getting a W here, like realistically speaking. And at the end of the season, if we're in it and if it comes down to crown the NFC East, we're beating them. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, Washington fans are gonna hate me because I have a sweep in them. And a part of me just wants to give us an L so that Washington can have a W, but I don't want to do that. But like, they're gonna split with us, man. Listen, I can't believe I'm doing it. I'm giving us the L, man, because I'm like, they're gonna split with us. But like, you hear my reasoning, right? Like the beginning of the season where it's literally just 2020 continued and you're developing your 2021, lookout, and then at the end where you're the most developed,
all
it's just like,
matters.
damn.
Where all matters. Yeah.
I'm like, yo.
Here's I get your mindset, but I don't know if Washington really has what it takes to. There's been such a cycle that is yet to be broken for Washington. Like they beat us once in the past couple of years. They split with us once in the past couple of years, and that was even a shock to me.
No, that was back in like 2017 or was it 2018?
Yeah, it was one of those years. No, it wasn't 2018 because I mean Saquon killed them. We lost 20-14. I remember that game. I think it was 2017. No, okay, was it 2017 or was
it had to be 2017? Because
yeah,
since
one of
2018,
those years.
I don't think we lost to them. I don't know.
Yeah, one of those years. But you have to think about it. Put yourself in the Giants and Eagles, in the Giants and Eagles rivalry. No matter how good we are in any given year, we usually just freaking get smoked by the Eagles, no matter how good they are. And it's the same thing for the Giants and Redskins or Washington football team. Sorry, don't cancel me. But it's the same thing for
no, it's actually more with the Giants and Washington because historically it's like one of the most one-sided rivalries in NFL history.
And
you go by the historic record.
As much as I like I don't know why today I'm just keep saying that the Redskins, but as much as I like what Washington did this year, and especially in their draft, I thought they had a really good draft. The Jamin Davis, we'll see what happens with that one, but the rest of their draft was great. I don't know if they still have enough pieces to straight up and split with us. Like I don't know. Like we got a lot better this year. We lost Dalvin Tomlinson. Who else did we lose? Nobody.
Kevin Zeitler, that's it.
We didn't lose, and we lost Dalvin Tomlinson. And although I love him as a player, run stuffers can be pretty easy to replace. I don't want to, chalk it up as, Dalvin Tomlinson is just easy replaceable guy. That's not what it is at all. But, we were able to kind of compensate for that by getting Danny Shelton in there. And we already have a strong run stuffing unit. So it's not like we're losing too much in Dalvin Tomlinson. How did we get any worse? The Giants did not get any worse. Now, you could argue that the Washington football team got better too, but the Giants, they swept Washington last year, and they got even better. I can't see us
Washington had
splitting.
no real reason to not beat us once last year, yo.
That is true, but
like
I can't see us losing.
I want to give us 2 W's, but I just have a feeling they're gonna get one, and I'd rather it be the early game. And then also we just haven't been lucky Thursday night football for like the past 5 years, bro. Like whenever we play Thursday night football, it does not go our way.
I'm really upset there's no Sunday night games. That's my favorite prime time, and the fact that we don't have a Sunday night is a travesty.
But yeah, guys, I want to get to week 3 because we got 18 weeks to get through. But
right.
KB got the W, and even though I put a strong argument as to why I think it's gonna be a W, I'm giving us the L. I don't know why. But also this Diggy pointed this out to me. He's like, whenever we split with Washington or Washington sweeps us, we like actually do good in the playoffs. So there you go.
I mean, I guess, but is that we usually sweep them anyway. I think we swept them on our Super Bowl run, so I don't know. But
no, he brought up the Super Bowl runs. He was like, we were swept one year by them. It was either 11 or 07.
Oh, okay.
Where they swept us.
All right, so let's get on to week 3 with the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I know this team is butt, all right?
No, I'm sorry, bro. That's a W for me.
It's a W for you?
Yeah.
Man, listen, I don't know if the Giants, bro, like I don't want to be like, oh, the Giants are gonna go 3-0, but it's
I
like
got them 2-1.
Yeah, I really like our chances against Washington. I don't fear Washington. I will play Washington any game of the week, any day of the week.
Why isn't it showing?
It's showing. It's a little.
Yeah, there you go. WLW. I got us 2-1.
I don't want to be that homer. I don't want to be that guy. I want to be as realistic as possible. But I think the Giants have a really good chance of starting 3-0. Okay, I think it's a real good possibility. Although the Falcons, I think, had a decent draft. I mean, who did they get with?
Bro, they literally they had Kyle Pitts. I can't remember any other picks. KB, this is why this is like probably an automatic W for me.
Yeah,
they're the same team as they were last year. That defense is still atrocious. That offense, I mean,
and they lost some pieces too. On
the offense is okay.
And they still have no pass
really
rush.
hyping up this offense.
They still have
the defense is atrocious, bro, on all levels. Like the Falcons are gonna be.
They give up like
a 6-7 win team, bro.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm gonna give this a dub. I was thinking about Atlanta's offense without thinking about their defense. So I'm going to give this a dub. It's just that
Cookie Monster. Even if Pitts will be all over the Giants, right? Let's say that. Even if Pitts will be all over us, right? Which I don't think he will be all over us because our defense, you know what I'm saying, is that good. Even if he is just one dude on the offensive side. You telling me our offense isn't going to absolutely outscore them? Because they have no defense. Like, they're not guarding Kenny Galladay. They're not guarding Darius Slayton or Kadarius Toney, whoever makes that second outside spot. They're not guarding Shep, who, when moving back, finally, I think they might move him back to the slot, is a monster in the slot. They're not going to guard Saquon. They have nobody to stop Saquon, bro.
A lot of these teams don't have anybody to stop.
I keep telling y'all, bro, when I said Saquon's going to have a better comeback by AP, you didn't think I was looking at these defenses? The Broncos ain't getting nobody that's going to stop him. You know what I'm saying? Washington, this man consistently runs on them. The Falcons ain't got nobody that's going to stop him.
And this man might
open the season with like 500 yards over the first 3 weeks, bro.
If you look at our schedule, there are a lot of teams in here that cannot stop the run. Atlanta can't stop the run. Denver can't stop the run. The Rams were one of the worst teams stopping the run last year. Oakland can't stop the run. Dallas couldn't stop the run last year. They were one of the worst teams as well. I think they were 32nd in the run last year, and we played them twice, obviously. There are a lot of teams that cannot stop the run. So that helps us huge. And the Carolina Panthers. So it's gonna be a fun one. But I don't think there's too much to talk about with Atlanta because you're right. They're not so much a different team. So I'm gonna say it's a dub.
Saints is an interesting one. Yeah, no, I got to start off 2-1.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I know people don't fear Jameis, but if he actually develops,
Well, here's the thing, bro. Is Jameis starting? Is that what you're saying?
I think he will because now there's a lot of talks that he's probably the favorite to start.
Mm-hmm.
If he starts, we lose. I think
really?
So.
I mean, we've beaten Jameis before.
Yeah, but not with a loaded team. He was never. I mean, the Bucs were never a loaded team when he was on there. I mean, the Saints
They were pretty good offensively. So I'm assuming you're talking about defense.
Yeah, I mean, they're loaded on offense and defense.
No, I'm talking about when we played the Bucs. They had
really good offense. Yeah, they had a good offense. First, their offensive line was trash. And with the Buccaneers, but their offensive line in New Orleans is really really good. So that is a factor. Their defense is still very good, although they had to compensate and try to get more weapons in there on defense because they lost a couple. I still think it's a really really strong defense.
No, that defense is really strong.
Yeah, their defense is still really strong, and I'll tell you right now, if Jameis finds his way, that dude's a dangerous guy, man. He's a gunslinger. He was 5,000-yard passer for a reason. Don't act like he doesn't have good weapons in New Orleans like he did in Tampa. I mean, although they're not as great in Tampa, you still have Mike Thomas. You still have Alvin Kamara. Deontay Harris is no slouch. I mean, who they have as their second receiver? They probably should have drafted a receiver, to be honest with you. But they still got a lot of weapons over there, man. So I'm gonna give this this is our first L for me.
Yeah, this is my second L for the Giants, and a lot of it has to do with I want to see how DJ is going to perform against this defense. Let me look back at the Saints real quick, right? The Saints, 5th best defense last year. We're looking at passing defense as well, where they were ranked pretty. Where are they? Where in the world? I wish there was a way I could sort. I actually have to go through a spreadsheet. Find this. New Orleans. Oh yeah, they were 5th best passing defense, and they were the 4th best rushing defense, right? Yeah. So like I was saying, just defensively, they're one of the best teams in the NFL. Mm-hmm. And I think they didn't really change, which I expected them to, but they got their own type of Kevin Abrams. They managed to keep a lot of people on there, basically everybody, I'm pretty sure. And this is a team that could legitimately kind of just stifle our offense. That I gave us the L. And then also our defense against them, as much as I love our defense, there is one guy that could break it, and that's Alvin Kamara. And I have this going. So that's 2-2 through the first 4 weeks for me, 3-1 for KB.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's 3-1. So we agree there. It's probably gonna be an L. All right, this one's gonna be interesting. This one is going to be interesting. Let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys, and we're gonna be playing them at AT&T. Let's talk about it. Dak is coming back healthy. They loaded up on defense. I don't know how much you would say loaded up. I mean, their draft was mostly defense. A lot of guys I never even heard of in drafts. There was one guy, Nashawn Wright, I believe, that was drafted by them in the 3rd or 4th round, and a lot of people had him as an undrafted. A lot of people graded this dude as an undrafted guy. So you could say they didn't do a great job in the draft, but you never know. They got Micah Parsons. Who else did they get that's prominent?
Jabril Cox, but like, are they really about to start both of their rookie linebackers over there already?
But that's the exact thing. A lot of people are like, oh, but the Dallas Cowboys. That's why I gave them a C+ in their draft. I said, or C-, or I gave them a C somewhere. But that's why I did that. A lot of people are like, oh, but look, they got Micah Parsons and Jabril Cox. All right, but they already had Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith. This is a passing league. You're gonna have all 4 of those guys on the field? No, you're not even gonna have 3 guys on the field. 3 of those guys on the field. I mean, freaking Micah Parsons the only time, Micah Parsons and Jabril Cox can get the majority of the snaps is when Jalen Smith and Vander Esch eventually go down because they both get hurt a lot. So that's pretty much why they drafted these guys. So, I mean, they're just going to be replacing, there's no addition to the team. They're just going to be replacing Vander Esch and Jalen Smith when they eventually go down. So, I didn't like their draft at all. I thought it was complete crap. But I can't see us sweeping Dallas this year. And if I'm going to give them an L at some point, if I'm going to give the Dallas Cowboys a W at some point, I think it's going to be this game. I still think Dallas is going to have a fantastic offense. They've given me no reason not to think that when Dak is healthy. When Dak was healthy, they were not number one, not number two, not number three, but they were the number one freaking offense in the league. Okay? Just as I freaking told you guys, and everybody was calling me
They were the number one
Cowboys
offense
fan.
in the league, and they were, what, 1-4?
Yeah, but at the same time, we'll see what happens with their defense. But, you know, when Dak went down that game, Andy Dalton still found a way to beat us. All right. So and listen, and it's not like they just held, Andy Dalton held out strong. He scored points. He scored a touchdown, and I think he got them like 10 points to end that game in only like one quarter. So I don't see us sweeping Dallas this year. So if I'm going to give them an L, if I'm going to give the Giants an L at one point for Dallas, it's going to be this game. So I'm going to say that the Giants dropped their second for me.
So for me, I got us beating the Cowboys. So that puts us at 3-2. A lot of it has to do with the fact that offensively, yeah, they're going to be the same coming back. So they're going to have one of the more prolific offenses in the league. And that was an offense, I think, that did the worst damage against the Giants all year. They scored against us, our defense. They were the highest scoring team that we played. So, I mean, it's definitely going to be a problem for us. But we also improved tremendously on the defensive side of the ball as well. I think we're going to beat them, though, just because I still don't see anything on that defense that could take care of every single one of our options, right? They don't have any corners that I'm scared of that's going to cover Kenny Golladay or another one of our prominent wide receivers. Saquon has always been, good against Dallas. Not great. He's always been good against them. And then now with the tight end position, Evan Ingram, I think, actually has been really good against Dallas as well. And
yeah.
Now we got Kyle Rudolph, so we're going to have two tight ends there. Like, it just comes down to, I think, it's going to be our offense against their defense. And their defense is so bad that I think it's going to lose them the game. So I have us at 3-2 here, beating Dallas.
Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna have us at what do I have them at? 3-2 as well. I'm gonna have us losing to Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at an equilibrium right now. So let's move on to week 6 against the LA Rams. This is a home game. You guys know that the Giants could have put themselves in a good position to beat them last year. We lost 17-9. There was a fatal interception thrown. Great interception made by Darius Williams last year. The rookie 6th-round pick, and made a really good interception.
Before you start, I want to start off this one here with the Rams.
Go ahead.
Now, in my because my video today, which I put out like 12 o'clock, so it was super early, was about the leaked home schedule, and then 2 hours after that, the entire schedule leaked. I said then the game that scares me the most on the leaked home schedule was the Rams. I take it back. I think that we could beat the Rams because, like, I just, I had some more time to think about it. I'm like, not only were we away, now we're at home. So that's a plus, right? The Rams defense, which was one of the best in the NFL, actually let me correct myself. The Rams defense, which was the best in the NFL, right? They're ranked number 1 last year. This defense, it did hold us to 9 points, I think. So you know what? Yeah, they lived up to their name. But we all know that was like a 9-9 game for most of it, except for that one big touchdown by I think it was Cooper Kupp. Or was it Robert Woods? One out of the two. I think it was Cooper Kupp. Except for that one big touchdown.
Where we sent a freaking corner blitz and then didn't account for that was a fluke. My honest opinion.
So except for that one big touchdown, bro, our defense was also holding them to like 9 points.
I agree. But what do you think about the addition?
Well, let me finish though, right? Like, and then that's offense in the Rams that, let me see if I could find where they are. That was an offense in the Rams that was ranked 22nd at the end of the year, right? They do have additions, like you were going to mention, but how much better do you think that makes them? And of course, the biggest addition is Matt Stafford. But if Matt Stafford decides to bomb it downfield, who's their deep threat? Is it going to...
Dude, they got tons of deep threats.
Between Kupp and Woods, who's the bigger deep threat?
They have Robert Woods, Cooper Kupp. They've got Tutu Atwell. They've got Deshaun Jackson. I mean, they've got a bunch of deep threats.
You think our corners can't cover them?
I don't think our corners, all our corners are as fast. They're all extremely fast. I mean, James Bradbury is great. He's not extremely fast.
James Bradbury did a pretty good job last year.
Adori's really fast, but Darnay's fast. But here's the thing. When you have a guy like Matt Stafford, you never know. I mean, that guy is one of the best. I love Matt Stafford.
And I'm right with you there. One of them gets beat, you know what I'm saying? Logan Ryan drops back, it's clipped.
I mean, clipped. you could say the same thing for like any team that we played in. If we're gonna get beat,
no, because the thing about the Rams, what I love about them is they have a really good receiving core, but they don't have that one guy that stands out.
They don't have a one guy that stands out, but they all have. Listen, when it comes to Sean McVay, he's extremely smart when identifying. Like Tutu Atwell probably shouldn't have gone as high as he did, but I feel like Sean McVay just has a master plan for him, and the way he draws up plays is that of like almost Andy Reid. Like it's just like it's so out of, so unique to the NFL. I mean, I could see them stretching the field on us. You have a guy like Matt Stafford. How do you not?
Here's why I have us with W, and we have a lot of rematches this year from last year, which is kind of funny. We have a good amount of rematches. This was one of them. Last year, we played them extremely well, and we lost because of that one touchdown by Cooper Kupp. Other than that, we were neck and neck with them. We improved more, in my opinion, than the Rams improved. We improved more both offensively and defensively than the Rams improved offensively and defensively. And last year, we played them so close, also very early in the season. I think it was like week 4 last year.
Yeah.
I can see us winning, especially because we're at home, too.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm still gonna give us an L. So I'm gonna
bet you have us at 3-3 then, right?
3-3, yes.
And that's 4-2 for me right now. 4-2. Yeah.
Okay. All right, so let's go on to October 24th. That is when the Giants are at home playing the Carolina Panthers, and I'm gonna give right off the bat. I'm gonna give this one a dub for the Giants. I don't like the Panthers at all. I mean, I get they added J.C. Horn in there. Their defense is still a load of crap right now. Their offense looks pretty decent. I don't know how I feel about Sam Darnold at all. I don't like Sam Darnold. Listen, I don't think he's terrible. I don't think he's as bad as everybody says he is, but I'm not scared of Sam Darnold at all. Their running game, we'll see what happens with Christian McCaffrey if he's going to remain healthy. But their running game was pretty consistent with what's his name? What was his name? That random freaking running back, Mike Davis. Was it?
For who?
For Carolina last year?
Yeah, I think it was Mike Davis, yeah.
Mike Davis, he did a really good job running the ball. He didn't get like a lot of yards, but he got like all the tough yardage and had a decent amount for yards per carry. I'm not scared of Carolina. I think James Bradbury and DJ Moore they kind of match up very well. I think Terrace Marshall went there too, right? Terrace Marshall got drafted by Carolina.
Did he?
In the second round. I believe Terrace Marshall is there now. I don't know who's going to match up on it with him, but I don't think it really matters too much. I see this being a W. On top of that, I mean, they didn't really improve their offensive line either, did they? So, I mean, I don't know. I'm going to give this a dub for the Giants. I think they could win this game.
I also got a dub for us. There's not much for me to say there that you didn't already say. I'm just not scared of the Panthers, bro. So that's 5-2 for me.
All right, so let's go to the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know if this is going to be an interesting topic. I don't know how this one is going to go out, but the Kansas City Chiefs pretty much only have one glaring weakness on their team, and that was most highlighted in the Super Bowl, and that's because their guys went down. But they completely they identified their biggest weakness, and they said, "Screw that! that's exactly what we're going to focus on." And like a good team does, they went ahead and upgraded in that position heavily. So when it comes to that, all their guys are pretty much intact. They didn't really lose any notable talent besides Mitchell Schwartz and Eric Fisher. And their defense is still good. We'll be seeing DeAndre Baker. Let's see how he performs against us. But their defense, for a very long time, their defense was complete crap.
Isn't DeAndre Baker out, bro?
No,
he have like a serious injury or something?
Yeah, he had a serious injury, but I think he's back this season.
Okay, he's gonna be back.
Yeah, he'll be back. Maybe it is towards the midseason. He should be back. He should be back to face us. But for a long time before Steve Spagnuolo got there, once a Giant, always a Giant. Before Steve Spagnuolo got there, they were terrible. But ever since Spags got there, they actually been a really, really good defense. So that hasn't really been a crutch for them, or an Achilles heel for them in a while. So I can't see the Giants winning this game. I cannot, especially we're at Chiefs Kingdom, we're at Arrowhead. I can't see us winning this game. November 1st, I'm going to give this an L.
All right, so let me make sure I have my things written down correctly here. Yeah, I got this as an L here as well. I just don't. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is gonna be funny. And you guys are gonna see why it's gonna be funny in a couple minutes. I have us as an L here. I just don't think we match up well with the Chiefs, to be honest with you. Which is funny because me and Diggy, we were talking like off stream, and he was saying that he thinks we match up well with the Chiefs. But I don't know, man. I don't see it. I really don't see it. Like you said, they went and they improved the one deficiency on their team, and they went all in on it. They bought Patrick Mahomes an all-new offensive line, and it wasn't just like an offensive line of randoms. It's like offensive line of proven dudes, and with the most important position on that line, it's an offensive line with a Pro Bowler. That was their first-round pick. They traded their first-round pick for Orlando Brown Jr. The Chiefs they're like one of the two best teams in the NFL, which is we play the two best teams on the NFL on Monday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is just a case of them being a better team, man.
Yeah, it's just sometimes you don't need to put too much analysis in it. They're just a way better team. They're championship ready. They've been in 2 straight Super Bowls, and they've constantly, ever since Patrick Mahomes got to them, with Andy Reid in there, obviously. Ever since Patrick Mahomes been starting for them, they've been a top offense in the league. So, and they still have all their pieces. Clyde, Edwards-Helaire. They had Tyreek Hill still. They lost Sammy Watkins. They have Mecole Hardman still. So they've got weapons over there in Kansas City. So, yeah,
and
I gotta give this
I was just looking back over the schedule because I have it written down in a way more readable thing, just straight down instead of going across all the time.
Yeah,
I know the NFL has it ranked as like the 8 easiest schedule. This is actually a pretty good schedule.
Yeah, because they go by they
go by the previous year's records, right?
Yeah, they only go by that.
Bro. This is it's not easy, but it's not incredibly hard. This is like a good middle of the pack schedule. This is going to be a nice test for the Giants this year.
Yeah,
it's like a nice middle of the pack schedule. Just going through it, I'm like, this is not like the 8th easiest schedule in the NFL. Definitely,
there's a lot of teams I really want to play this season. Like I really want to play Miami. I really want to play Tampa. I really want to get a chance to try to beat the Rams again and Chicago, because we're in control of our own destiny there. When we're trying to get a better draft pick, we beat them. We keep them from getting a better draft pick. So I guess I guess we could talk about Vegas now. Easy dub. I mean, this might be one of the easier.
Easy dub?
Yes,
I am saying it's a dub, but I don't think it's easy. I like Vegas.
This might be one of the easiest dubs.
Why are you saying it's easy?
I think they draft terribly. They've been drafting terribly ever since John Gruden got there. Their draft picks have done little to nothing. I mean, you could say their best draft pick was their running back. That's pretty much it. I forgot who the hell is their running back. I forgot his name. Josh Jacobs. Yeah, it completely slipped my mind. The running back out of Alabama. Jonathan Abram hasn't done much of anything. He's always been hurt because he throws his body around. Colton Miller has been developing. He's been okay. Their 3rd-round pick, Brandon Parker, who also got drafted in that same draft Colton Miller did. Brandon Parker, I believe he's starting now for at right tackle, and he is not very good. Cleveland Farrell is a load of crap. 4th overall pick, complete bust. Max Crosby wound up being better than him. He was a late-round pick. I don't see and Henry Ruggs that was such a bad pick by Vegas. Henry Ruggs was not a good pick at all. I'm not scared of Henry Ruggs at all. Not only is he not able to stay healthy, I think the literal only thing he can do is run fast. I don't think he's a great route runner whatsoever. I don't even think he has great hands either. They lost Nelson Aguilar, who was a really good weapon for them last season to fill in for Henry Ruggs. I think they're just bad. I think they're a bad football team. I think I believed in them last year, and they showed some hopes. They showed some grit in them. I believe they started 3-0, and they went right down the hill, and they were terrible. So, I say this is probably one of the more easier wins on the schedule for the
So
Giants.
I do have it as a W. I don't think it's an easy win though.
Their
because
defense is crap. Like look at their freaking their defense. It's so bad. It's still bad. They got no linebackers, no corners.
Man, you're kind of convincing me, but the Raiders always play good. Like that's what it comes down to. And I know we just clown Gruden, but it comes down to their coaching. That's why they always are in games. Like, you know what I'm saying? They beat the Chiefs last year, for example, as well. Like they play good.
That's a rivalry.
Despite their talent, right? Like I still have it as a W. I just don't think it's gonna be as easy as you say.
Yeah, and they lost Tyrell Williams. Thank you for that, Josh. They lost a lot.
See.
Nobody wants to play for the freaking Raiders.
But going into the bye, I got us at 6-3 there. Going into the bye, which is smack dab in the middle of the schedule.
Well, so you have us winning that, or?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay,
I do have us with a W.
All right, so I have us winning as well. So I'm not. Are you keeping track of mine? Because I'm not keeping track of mine.
No, I'm not.
all right, hold on. Denver, I have a win.
Just count your L's.
Yeah, I'll just count my L's. Okay, so I have us losing to
Saints,
Dallas, Rams.
Oh, you had us going 3 L's in a row, basically.
Yeah, so it was 3-3 in the first 6 weeks, and then I had us losing to Kansas City. So that's 4. So out of
you have us at 5-4 right now.
5-4.
Wow. Yeah, and I have us at 6-3. Okay.
Yeah, 5-4.
All right. Now we come out the bye with Tampa Bay. What are you thinking?
I think one thing I will say off the bat is people are thinking it's going to be just a dub just because we had a bye. If you look at especially the teams in the past 2 seasons, something I've noticed, I don't have the exact stat, but teams that are usually coming off the bye usually freaking lose. You would think that they would win these games coming off the bye.
Last week and played Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and we lost.
Yeah.
And I've seen that all last season. Teams that were coming off the bye, everybody was like, oh my God, they're coming off the bye. They had 2 weeks to prepare. For whatever reason, I don't know why this is becoming a trend. Teams that are coming off the bye are usually losing. They usually lose for whatever reason. So this one's going to be a hard topic because my heart is telling me one thing and my mind is telling me another. This is a hard topic because as I'm going to this game, I don't care how it happens. I'm going to be asking off for work right now. I'm going to be setting. Yeah. So I'm probably going to ask off for 2 days of work because I don't want to go back into work on Tuesday. As much as I want to give this a W because I want to play this team again because I knew we had this in the bag but it was Daniel Jones had terrible.
Yeah, his worst game of his career.
I don't want to be a homer, dude. I don't want to do it. I'm going to say this is you know what? Every team has surprise wins. Every team has it. I think the Giants are going to win this game. This might be the blue lens, guys. Everybody knows about the blue lens. This might be me wearing the blue lens. I'm going to say the Giants are hungry this time. I'm going to say Tom Brady's going to overthink this one. But I'm going to say the Giants win this one. We can't see it. Hold on. I can't even see it. Put it up a little bit. Put it up a little bit. Put it up a little bit, not closer. Up.
Well, I mean, you could just judge from the record there.
Dude, we can't see anything. Okay, you have us losing. All right, you have us losing. Give me your thoughts, man, because I'll give you my thoughts in a second. Maybe I'm being a homer. I'll completely admit it. Maybe I'm being a homer. But give me your thoughts on that real quick, because I'm probably going to agree with everything.
Are going to hate me because I basically have us losing all 3 of our primetime games.
I don't blame you, dude. I really don't blame.
We don't do good in primetime, man.
And you know what? I respect it because a lot of people are going to be going into the season thinking we're going to win every single game because all the additions we made, acting like no other team got better. You know, you got to remember, Tampa Bay maintained every single piece. Any important piece they had, they maintained it. Plus, they had an extremely good draft. So,
listen, here's my thing with Tampa Bay. Man,
they got Jalen Darden.
Listen, no,
they got burn. They got freaking
let me get
Darius Slayton 2.0.
Listen, we should have beat them last year. That's a given. We should have, right? If Daniel Jones literally just plays average football instead of playing the worst game of his entire career, we beat them because the entire team was hitting the defense. Stupendous game by the defense, man.
And didn't Tom Brady throw a couple picks or one pick?
Yeah, he threw out 1 or 2, but the defense they were on their game. The receivers, funnily enough, I think that was the only game where the receivers were getting separation. Particularly Darius Slayton was open downfield like 3 times, and DJ overthrew him all 3 times. Listen, this team plays well against Tampa Bay because this is going to be like the 5th or 6th year in a row that we're playing them. We know Tampa Bay's personnel. That's why we play them really good each time we match up, no matter who's the quarterback, right? And these are the defending Super Bowl champs, so give them some respect in that sense as well. And they kept everybody, and so they got better by default because they added players in the draft and whatnot. So Tampa Bay is a better team than they were last year. Super Bowl champs got better. We should have beaten them last year, and we have a chance of beating them this year, but we're not going to do it. We're coming off the bye week, which, like you said, for some reason, teams in recent years are just not winning when they come off the bye week. And the Giants don't win when they come off the bye week at all either. I just found it hilarious. When the schedule was released, I looked at it. I'm like, we're playing Tampa Bay again. We're playing Tampa Bay in prime time again. And then the NFL has us playing Tampa Bay in prime time off the bye week again for the 2nd year in a row. It's just kind of like a perfect storm in that sense. And it's also away. Like, it's also at Tampa Bay, right? So it's like, yeah, I got us losing this one. But I'll tell you this. If we match up with them in the playoffs, we are going to be a problem with them if we match up against them in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm going to be feeding off of my emotions from last season. Watching that game, although that was the game, believe it or not, although it was Daniel Jones's worst game, it was the rest of the team's best game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The rest of the team
this game put the Giants on the map. Like made the Giants relevant last season because this was a primetime game. Nobody really cared to watch the Giants besides this game. So it's on prime time. Obviously, people that aren't really invested in the Giants during the season are probably going to watch this game because that's the only football that's on. We played them so well throughout the whole game.
The NFL, I don't know if they got something against the Giants. We play both of the Super Bowl teams in prime time.
Right.
I don't know why.
And in Monday Night Football, both.
And in Monday Night Football, both.
I hate Monday Night Football, dude. I hate Monday Night Football. But, and, you know,
I mean, it gives us an extra day of rest.
Just looking at the rematch and how people are going to be paying attention to this game, everybody's going to be invested in this game. This is going to be a bigger game than people think. It's not just a regular Giants Tampa Bay game. This is the game that everybody remembered last season, Monday Night Football. Like you said, Giants coming off the bye again, and a team that was extremely scrappy with Daniel Jones really weighing them down. If Daniel Jones improves this season and at least doesn't fumble the ball and keep giving away, interceptions, stuff like that, the Giants will be just fine in this game. This is a team that got scrappy with every single team they faced off against last season, no matter how good they were. If they keep that same energy and they're a lot better, with more defensive weapons, obviously adding more offensive weapons, I don't see how we will get smoked in this game. I think either way, this game is going to be really competitive, and I think the Giants will find a way to get an edge in this game. So I think the Giants can do it. I really think they can do it. I think they'll be focusing on this game. I think they'll be circling this one. I feel like this is the game they knew that they could have had, and they could have beat the Super Bowl champions.
Then are you saying it's a W? Because you're talking like it's a W.
Yes, I'm saying. Okay. I'm saying this is going to be a surprise W.
What's your record right now?
So it will be 6-4.
Yeah, mine is 6-4 right now, but mine is 6-4 because I have us taking the L.
Right.
But now we're finally matching up against the Eagles late in the season, Week 12.
Dub.
Yeah, it's a dub.
Listen, if there's one team I'm confident in us. Listen, if there's one team I'm confident in us sweeping this year out of all the NFC East opponents, I'm shaky on the Cowboys. Although I feel like we will with the with the Washington football team, it's probably a possibility we will split. We are definitely sweeping the Eagles. They are trash this season, and we should have swept them this season, last season.
I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. Eagles at home. For me, the Giants are angry and frustrated because they just lost to Tampa Bay again for the 2nd year in a row. The Giants are angry and frustrated because of Week 17, the draft, and just the Eagles being the Eagles.
All that anger built up.
They're going to destroy this team at home, bro.
And it's at home. The first time we play them is at home. I love
this. This is a W. All right, I got us at 7-4.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's that easy. I think it's an easy W for us. First of all, you look at the Eagles draft. How, besides Devontae Smith, Landon Dickerson has a lot of injury, although that's a guy I wanted, so I'm not going to act like he's terrible now that he's with the Eagles, but there is obviously injury concerns. And not only is there injury concerns with Landon Dickerson, there's injury concerns with the entire Philadelphia Eagles offensive line. So if somehow the Eagles offensive line is as unhealthy as it was last season, where you literally had backup starting that whole year, you have a freaking rugby player playing at left tackle last year. And with Landon Dickerson still unhealthy, that we're going to destroy this team. Jalen Hurts, I'm not scared of Hurts at all. At all. I'm not even scared of his running ability at all. I don't even think he's that. I think he's mobile. I think he can move, but I don't think he's that elusive that we're not able to
Jalen Hurts
him.
could do anything against us. Bro.
I think he's going to be completely locked down. First of all, he doesn't throw a deep ball at all. And Devontae Smith, probably the best chance you're going to have against the Giants is probably throwing the deep ball. I don't even see him doing that. I don't even see him doing that.
Whoever their number one is, whether it's Smith or Rager, and it's probably going to be Smith, and I love Smith, he not doing any type of business against James Bradbury, bro.
It's not even that. How is Jalen Hurts supposed to thread the needle? Like how is Jalen Hurts supposed to, maybe I'm a little worried about Devontae Smith just because he's a rookie, and a lot of these rookies are beginner's luck. But I'm not scared of the guy throwing him the ball. Like, Devontae Smith can get, open as much as he wants. I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to hit him.
Mm-hmm.
So and their defense is still a wreck. It's still a train wreck. They didn't upgrade their corner spy at all. Did they? I mean, they still have Darius Slay, but who cares about Darius Slay? They didn't get better at all. So they didn't draft any corners because we took Aaron Robinson away from them.
Joseph, I'm thinking right now, Washington week 18. He's asking what games are we going to. And then Tampa Bay, since KB's in close to Tampa Bay, he's going to be there week 11, and I'm trying to make Washington week 18.
Yep.
Not confirmed yet though.
We will see. When is Thanksgiving?
Oh, we don't have Thanksgiving game. It's
I know.
It's either going to be the 22nd or the 28th. One of those weeks is going to be Thanksgiving weekend.
Yeah. Well, they're both going to be in the same week. So, let me see.
Listen, KB, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but if it comes down January 9th battle for the NFC East, you got to come up to the Giants, bro. You got to come up to New York.
I'm going to try just with my work, and during Christmas time, I got to put in that time really early, so I don't know.
Well, that's January 9th, though.
I know. The Christmas time lasts until February.
Jesus. Yeah.
So we will see, man. I'll try to make an emergency type of trip, but
Joseph said he's 90% sure he's going to be at the Tampa Bay game.
Ooh, nice. But I'm probably going to go with my families, but we'll see. I want to see as much subs as I can, though. So we'll see.
And now we're at another Florida team, Miami, December 5th. So this is
I am
at Miami.
So excited about this game. This is my number one game I want to see, believe it or not. Besides Philly, obviously I have my own vendetta against Philly this season. This is the number one game I want to see this season, besides Philly and Tampa. Miami, I've been in awe with Miami. The job they've been doing such a fantastic. I've been following them extremely closely. And the job they've been doing over there is really commendable. I really, really love what they're doing over there. I don't know who the GM for Miami. I don't know his name by heart. But he's doing a fantastic job. Brian Flores, I thought should have been coach of the year. Did he win the winning coach of the year, or was it?
I can't remember. I'll be honest with you. I can't remember who won that.
In my opinion, I think it was probably it's probably freaking Pittsburgh. All these names are I'm blanking.
Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin. I don't know why I would blank on Mike Tomlin's name, but I think he won it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh no, Stefanski won it.
Kevin Stefanski
Brown.
won it.
Yeah, freaking Stefanski won it. Yeah. How did I remember Stefanski's name, not Tomlin's? But anyway,
because he won Coach of the Year.
Yeah. I think Brian Flores should have won it. I think what he did with that Miami team is amazing. What he did to that defense, Kush. What he did to that defense for when Patrick Graham, and this wasn't Patrick Graham's fault, but when Patrick Graham was there, that was the worst defense I've probably ever seen. They couldn't do anything. They had a lot of injuries. And on top of that, their starting defense was just without the injuries, was just bad as it is. So they're pulling guys out the practice squad. They're relying on undrafted free agents like Nick Needham to go ahead and try to be their number one guy, which he did well for them. Probably a good pickup, but that's who they were relying on. And they go on next season, and next season they're one of the best defenses in the NFL. How does that's such a switch? Now I know with the Giants, like we had a bad defense that we turned into a good defense. Like they went from a terrible defense and went to a great defense. Like they had such a 180 switch. And the fact that they were able to do what they did last season on the offensive side of the football by switching quarterbacks like all the time, like it was college, like it was Alabama switching with Jalen Hurts and Tua. The fact that they were able to do that and still win games is crazy. And the fact that their offense still went on the same rhythm with no matter what quarterback was there was awesome to see. And so I'm really excited about this game. These are two coaches that know each other very well from that Bill Belichick tree. They work together in New England. They're both two coaches that are very comparable to each other, two teams that are very comparable to each other. I am so excited for this game. I don't hate the Miami Dolphins one bit, but I am so excited to see what would happen in this game if we could beat the team that we are pretty much modeled with. So I'm so excited. Now, do I think we're going to win this game? To be honest with you, I don't know. I can't say this. I can't say that with a straight face that the Giants are going to win this game.
Mm-hmm.
I think they were always one step ahead of us. They got the coach 1 year earlier. They were starting to rebuild 1 year earlier. They got their quarterback 1 year earlier. So it's hard. It's hard. So I'm not a huge fan of Tua, but I think probably he may be better than Daniel Jones right now. I don't know. But I'm gonna say this is L, dude. Even though I love I can't wait to watch this game. I'm gonna say it's L.
Yeah, no, I have it as an L as well, and it comes down to them kind of being ahead of us in the process of rebuilding and retooling a team.
Mm-hmm.
I do have it as an L, man. You kind of covered all of it. They have an incredible defense. They're kind of in a similar spot like us, where they're going to need their quarterback to perform good in order for that offense to reach its full potential. And they did a good job of adding offensive weapons in the offseason, as well as trying to get that line going. And once again, it's just kind of like they're kind of just that one step ahead of us. I wouldn't be surprised if we win, but I'm gonna say that we take the L at Miami here.
Yeah. Like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we do win the game, if it's something crazy happens. And listen, when two good teams, up and coming teams, are going against each other, it turns into any given Sunday. I mean, it's always any given Sunday, but you never know which team makes the most plays. It really comes down to that: which team makes the least mistakes, and which team makes the most plays, and how it impacts it. So. I'm gonna say we lose this game. That puts my Giants team at like what would I have us going? It was 5-4 out the bye, then it was 6-4, 7-4, 7-5. I have the Giants going into the Chargers game 7-5.
Yeah, so do I. 7-5. And this Chargers game is another one. I have a couple games on here where I mark with an asterisk, where it's just like they could go either way. This is another one, back-to-back games where I'm like, this could go either way, in my opinion.
Honestly, this puts us in a bad spot. This could be trap game. I don't even know.
And it's 2 away games in a row as well.
Right. And I don't even know if you would call it a trap game, because if you look at the Chargers, they're kind of like, and they're not really up there with. Yeah, they're good. They're a good team. They're not a bad team that will surprise us. But I think none of us should be shocked if we lose to the Chargers. First of all, they have the quarterback of my dreams, Justin Herbert, there. I'm still upset that he stood an extra season. But I think Justin Herbert's doing just exceeding expectations. He's doing such a great job over there. And they made their offense a lot better. They helped that offensive line a lot this season. They added Rashawn Slater. They got Brian Bulaga. I mean, they've got a lot going for them on the offensive side of the football. I think they drafted another receiver. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I think they added a receiver in free agency as well. All I know is that they revamped it. They did lose Hunter Henry, but at the same time, they've always lost Hunter Henry because the dude was never healthy anyway. So they were always playing without Hunter Henry anyway. Their defense is still good. Joey Bosa coming back. Melvin Ingram. Let's see what's going on with him. And then they still have Uchenna Nwasu over there. I believe they added an inside. And they still have Kenneth Murray, and I believe they drafted another inside linebacker, if I'm not mistaken. And their secondary, I can't remember their second. I know they revamped their secondary as well. But I do somewhat, I guess, fear the Chargers, and the fact that we're coming away from this Miami game, which we got to put a lot of effort in, a lot of work into, to try to play that game, and then come back and then go all the way to the West Coast. Ooh, I don't know about that one, man. I don't know about that one. So we'll see what happens. Then us going all the way to the West Coast and playing another away game. This has L written all over it to me. I'm actually going to give it an L. I'm going to say we lose this game as well, and that puts us at, for me, 7-6.
Yeah, basically, like I was saying the same thing. Back-to-back away games. Also, the Chargers they could be a sneaky good team this year. I don't know. I have this as an L as well, but have no fear. 7-6. We're gonna be right back at 8-6 when we beat the Cowboys at home in Week 15. There's not much I gotta say there. So obviously, in this rundown, I have us sweeping the Cowboys, which I have a little bit of a tough time believing. And I actually made a whole separate thing right here. I made 2 schedule predictions basically, right? So, and both one of them, we'll get there when we get there.
Yeah.
But I have a sweeping the Cowboys in this one, and the other one I don't have a sweeping the Cowboys. I have a splitting. But yeah, I mean, at home we're coming off of 2 losses. JoJo's gonna want to get the team back on track. The Cowboys at this point in the season are going to be one of 2 things. They're either going to be completely out of it like they were last year, or they're going to still trying to be fighting their way back into it, and they may have some type of mediocre record. Maybe they're like 2 games out of first place in the NFC East or something. They're going to be trying to find their way back into it. But at this point in the season, with us at 7-6, I think we probably might be better than what the Cowboys might be. And I say we take the W. Also, it comes back to what I said with the first matchup. Their defense is still horrible.
Right. The defense is still really bad, and like I said, I had us losing to Dallas in the beginning of the season. I can't see us getting swept by Dallas. I think we're going to win this game. Here's the thing: 1 or 2 things can happen. If my scenario winds up being correct and we drop 2 straight to Miami and the Chargers, and then we're in a situation where we play the Cowboys at home, are the Giants gonna get right back up and keep fighting like we know they are, like we know the team that they are, or are they gonna let those 2 back-to-back losses really take a toll on them, and then they're gonna find a way to lose this game? Like, that's something the Giants do. Like, once we start losing, we stay losing. Yeah, so I'm gonna say the Giants win this game. Is there a little? Honestly, if we lose the first game, I don't see us getting swept. So I always say if we lose the first game, we're definitely gonna win this game at home. And like you said, this could either be Dallas still in it for the crown, or they're going to be completely out of it. I think they'll be neck and neck with us. So I think they'll still be in it with us during this time.
I'm gonna just go ahead and say this. After I have the back-to-back losses to Dolphins and Chargers, I actually have us winning out. I have us winning our last 4, which puts us at a record at 11-6. And the reason I said that is because I just want to get out of the way. I mean, like, that means the 3 of our last 4 is division opponents, right? So we win those division opponents, which means in this particular rundown, I have us sweeping the Eagles and the Cowboys, but splitting with Washington, and then we beat the Bears week 17. So that have us at 11-6, which I think is a very realistic record. Now, I will say, like I mentioned earlier, I also did a separate thing where I have a splitting with Dallas, and that puts us at 10-7, which is right around where I think the Giants are going to be, 10-7 or 11-6.
Hold on. In my scenario, I have us 7. I think I have us because if we go in a scenario that, like you said, I don't think it's crazy that you have us winning out, because I probably would have us winning out as well. That would put my scenario at 12 and.
So for me, 11-6, like 11-6 right now means we do extremely well in the division. We split with Washington and sweep everybody else. But with 10-7, I think we split with Washington and split with Dallas. So that's where the extra loss comes from.
Yeah, let me see how much loss I have, because I think I have us at 12-5. But I honestly don't think we would hit that. But if we do, that'll be great. But I have us losing. Okay, losing to Saints, first Cowboys, Rams. Okay, no, I don't have us going 12-5.
So chat, let me know which one you
Chiefs.
like better, the 10-7 or the 11-6. And I don't mean which one you like better in terms of wins. Which one do you see happening more? I think 10-7 might be a bit more realistic, splitting with Dallas and splitting with Washington.
So I have us going 11-6 as well.
Mm-hmm.
But in different scenarios, like we have different games. But yeah, I was going 11-6 as well.
Mm-hmm. Which I think is around where most people have us. I saw there was one person completely disagreeing with everything we're saying, Luann, who was calling us crazy. But at the end of the day, we kind of ended up around the same record that she had us going, which was 11 wins. So, I mean, I
It
guess we
doesn't
are
matter.
crazy.
Listen, it doesn't matter how you get there.
Like she
You
had us
know,
with 11.
it doesn't
I
matter
have
how
us
you
at
get
11 or 10. So,
there. Yeah, I think the expectation should be high this season. I know for the past couple of years now, we were trying to, we were going into these games, or going into these seasons with not very high expectations, especially in those Pat Shermer seasons as well, and obviously first season with Joe Judge. Now I feel like this is the season where we could start looking at double-digit wins, especially with another game there, giving us another chance to get another win. Yeah, I have this game. I never thought I would have, realistically have us going 11-6, but I do. I mean, we may win some games we're not supposed to, or we may lose some games that we're not supposed to. So, we got to take that all into account there. But yeah, I 11-6, and listen, I'm loving the Chicago game because we had their first round pick, and I love that at the end of the season we get to kind of control our own destiny as far as what pick we're getting, because it's at the end of the season. Records are pretty much set in the draft order. The first few picks are pretty much set in draft order when it comes to this time, and the fact that we can knock them down a little lower and then give us a better draft pick, yeah, towards the end of the season, I think is awesome. So I'm excited about the January 2nd game too. And by that time, Justin Fields should be starting. And there's no way Justin Fields is going to ball out on our defense. There's no freaking way Justin Fields balls out on our defense. I don't see it happening at all. So unless he goes to absolute Patrick Mahomes superstar mode and does that, or Justin Herbert superstar mode in his rookie year. So I don't see it happening. So, yeah.
and
I
I'm gonna say this, I see the chat. There are a lot of people around that range, 11-6, 10-7. Cookie Monster and Lestat has us at 12-5. I said this in a tweet. If everything goes right, 12-5. I don't think it's realistic, but it's there if everything
it's our
goes right.
ceiling. It's our ceiling.
So for the 10-7 record, if we have 2 more wins, that means I do have a sweeping Dallas, and I guess maybe we win either Dolphins or Chargers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then for the 11-6 one, it means we win one of those Dolphins or Chargers. But I don't know. That means a lot of things have to go right, man, for us to get 12-5. I think 11-6, 10-7 is really where we might be.
So you think our ceiling is at 12-6, to 12-5?
Yeah.
So what do you think our floor is?
Our floor is 9 wins, or it should be 9 wins is our
9
floor.
wins?
Yeah. We should not be
8.
an 8-win team, which isn't 500 anymore. There is no 500 anymore.
Yeah, there's no more 5.
But we shouldn't be a 500 team.
I hate it. I hate that there's no 500 anymore. But
yeah, Edward has our floor at 7. I got our floor at 9, which I guess is maybe a little bit high, but we should be a 9.
it's just that, yeah, it's just that just like any other good team, I think the Giants should be good. Like, of course, the mainstream media probably doesn't think we're going to be any good, but if you look at the Giants, I mean, we're not. Our roster. If anybody took a look at our roster, if you're a Giants fan or not, you look at this roster and like that's a pretty damn good roster. I don't see how we mess this up. I don't see how we mess this up. So it's actually fine to have our floor at 9 wins. Having us a winning season.
Zay says 8 and 9. Let's be realistic, Giants.
You know what's crazy? So that means 8 and 7, right? 7.
No, it's 8 and 9.
Oh, okay. So it's not 8 and 7. So 8 and win. Okay, so 8 wins would be a losing season.
Mm-hmm.
Right there. All right. So then it'll be 9 and 8. Right. I'm terrible with math, guys. So bear with me. But yeah. All right. I see that. But yeah,
it's a very interesting schedule. It's not.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy. Like, I wouldn't call it the 8th easiest, but it's not too hard. It's challenging. It's like that's why I'm like, it's like a smack dab in the middle type of schedule.
It's that I'll tell you what. If we were in last year at last year's point of our rebuilding, I would be afraid of this. Of this the schedule.
Yeah, I feel like this is a very comparable schedule to last year, even though it doesn't say that.
Having to face a division like the NFC South is scary, and having to face a division like the AFC West is scary.
Mm-hmm.
But now that the Giants are in the position that they're at now, games like the Buccaneers seem a lot more winnable. Games like the Rams seem a lot more winnable. Games like where the Miami Dolphins are at seem a lot more winnable. So, that's what it comes down to is how well this team developed. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll maybe split with them.
Oh, the Knicks clinched the playoffs. Let's go, boys.
Oh yeah, I mean we knew it was gonna happen, but it's good that it got confirmed now.
But
Let's
yeah, I
see.
mean, I feel like the chat kind of basically gave how they feel about it. I don't think a lot of people disagree with us
Yeah,
per se.
yeah.
Maybe with how we got there, but at the end result is like I said, I found it funny. Luann was going crazy on us in the chat for the games that we lost, but we ended up
I
with the
think
same result as she did.
Yeah, I think people just don't want to hear who we're gonna win or lose to because it's so early to tell, and then
It
so
is, and I agree with that. It is very
it
early to
is. Yeah,
tell.
don't take our stuff with a grain of salt, guys. But the fact that we're all pretty much agreeing where we're gonna end up, the Giants finished freaking what 6-10 last year. A lot of people had us winning 6 games last year, around 6 or 7 games last year. So we kind of knew where the Giants were at this point in the season. So if we're one game off last season, like the majority of us were, like I had the Giants going the 7-9 last season, and they went 6-10. I was 1 game off. If the Giants are 1 game off of my 11-7, well, 11. Wait, what is it? 11-7? No,
11-6.
11
11
and
and
6.
7 means we get knocked out in the wild card, which I have
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
no problem with, bro.
yeah. I
I
don't
got
care,
no
but
problem with that.
so 11-6. And then if the Giants are 1 game off and they're 10-7, I'm okay with that. Okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. So yeah, I guess we can start wrapping this up soon. You guys get your last comments and concerns in there. How you feel
Or
about this
yeah, any
schedule?
questions that you guys might have as well, just toss
Yeah,
them in there.
probably end this around 11-10 or so. But yeah, man, I'm excited, man. We got another football fix and getting that schedule. Now we know what games we're gonna be playing to go to.
Thing
I'm
I hate
happy.
about it is that I like we got another football fix, but as soon as I finish my video tomorrow, which is going to be my schedule prediction video, obviously it's not going to be an hour and a half long, guys. It's going to be
Yeah,
like 15 minutes or something like that. After I finish that up and have it up, and that's it, man. The fix is over. Like I gotta wait like a long time.
yeah, because the Giants elected to skip out on the early mini camps, right?
I think rookie minicamp might still be happening, but like OTAs, like the voluntary stuff, isn't happening or something like that
Okay.
for the
Yeah,
Giants
because
at least.
the Jets started last week, like this week that just passed. They started. Zach Wilson's out there throwing the ball to Elijah Moore. I'm like, where the hell are the Giants at? The Giants didn't even announce the rookie numbers yet. Crying out
Yeah.
loud. They're like the only team that hasn't. So what's going on? I don't know. But listen, hey, this season could be a season where we might see Joe Judge as a legitimate head coach of the year candidate. I would love to see it. If the Giants actually do what we want them to do, go 11-6, make a playoff run, somehow win a playoff game, woo! A lot of high hopes.
Lestat is very. I love the energy Lestat. You know what I'm saying? He says our floor is 10-7. Man, you're very high on us. I'm rocking with it. Nash says he's worried about Barkley's workload in the first 2 games. I would be too as well because even I was making the argument. I think the first 3 or 4 games actually is going to be Saquon heavy. Like I think the running game is going to be prominent in the first 3 or 4 games just because of how our rushing offense matches up with those rushing defenses. So I feel you there.
Yeah, it's not only that. It's like I think Jason Garrett will have to get a rhythm and a groove of how he feels about these weapons because look, I mean,
And that goes into Cookie Monster's question. Do you think how you feel about Garrett?
That's one of the biggest wild cards of this season for the Giants is Garrett going to change his ways? And another wild card is Daniel Jones going to progress even more, continue where he left off last season. Now, we saw him, if you watch the film, if you watch him play, you saw Daniel Jones got better. Now he has to translate it to points, translate it to less turnovers, and translate it to more touchdowns. That all needs to translate because although he played better last season, 12 touchdowns just ain't it, bro. Or however much he had, 12 or 11 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that those are the biggest wild cards for me. I'm completely not worried about the defense at all. It's Daniel Jones and Jason Garrett is the biggest wild cards to the Giants' success this season.
And do I think he would be vanilla with Joker? Listen, if he's still vanilla with Joker, he should lose his job. He shouldn't be. When
Yeah,
you have when
because
you
then why
have
do you
a
draft them?
Saquon
You know,
and a Joker on the team, you can't be vanilla. You can't. They're essentially the same player,
and
kind
and
of.
and, and that's what I was saying. In my opinion, the Giants went after a Kadarius Toney as opposed to a Rashad Bateman because they know they have to change up this offense. You don't draft Kadarius Toney without telling Jason Garrett, "Hey, I
You're
need
gonna
you to
have to be more
expand that
creative.
freaking I need you to expand that offense. Open up the playbook, start making up some more plays for to get Tony involved. You can still run your sweeps you wanted to that you did with Ingram and Sterling Shepard. Now you can do them with Kadarius Toney. Do what you got to do." And please, oh my God, will be what I was asking for all season last season, the mesh concepts. Kadarius Toney and Sterling Shepard on a mesh concept would be absolute freaking killer. Nobody's stopping that. The amount of acceleration and turning the corner speed that both of those players have is insane. Insane. So I love that.
I
Nash
can't
said,
wait
"Who
for
is
the I
Joker?"
can't Oh, the young Joker, bro. That's Kadarius Toney's rap name.
Kadarius
Don't
Toney.
get concerned. Obviously, the guy knows how to manage, his hobby, which is low key a good career. He's a good rapper. He knows how to manage it with his football. You know what I'm saying? He's doing just fine. For some
Is
people,
there
that was a
really? Is there
concern.
really?
It's not a concern.
Is there really people concerned about his rapping career?
Yeah, apparently there were some teams that were turned off about it, even though the fact that you didn't know he had one is a good sign of how he manages it.
Exactly. Nobody. I would argue nobody knew until
Until he
he
got
was
drafted,
drafted.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah. And then what was the other thing? I'm just saying, like, don't be concerned, guys. He's handled it well. And even Judge has said that it's not a concern for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm just saying don't be too worried about it.
Listen, guys.
And
If Joe
yeah.
Judge went through with drafting him and Dave Gettleman, because I want Dave Gettleman with the whole DeAndre Baker situation. But listen, they're trying to build a culture here. They know what they're doing. They're not going to mess up on something stupid like that, especially on a first round pick. Again, they're not going to make the same mistake. Well, Dave Gettleman's not going to make the same mistake. So.
And then Landon says, "Do you think we can start season 3-0 or 2-1?" KB has a starting 3-0. I have a starting 2-1.
Yeah,
So yeah, there you go.
I have a starting 3-0, but I quickly have us going 3-3 in the first 6 weeks. So we'll see what happens there.
And yeah, my 2-1 start off basically has us losing against Washington. And once again, I know it's gonna maybe peeve some people, but I have us losing all of our primetime games, and it's just a matter of circumstance for me, man. Especially with the Tampa Bay one off the bye and the Chiefs one where they're just a better team.
Now, what do you?
So yeah,
Which one do you think is the most winnable?
the most winnable one is Washington week 2.
Okay,
Without a doubt.
makes sense.
Out of those, I mean, they rank third if you were to rank those 3 teams that we play in prime time.
Mm-hmm.
So
All
yeah.
right. Well, okay. Cookie Monster, serious question, chat. Who are the Roaches? Someone said the Giants would be the Roaches. What do you mean by that?
I don't know about that.
You mean like roaches, like?
Oh, beat the Roach. Oh, the Roaches is Washington.
Oh, okay.
Washington, that's the nickname for Washington.
Okay.
The Roaches.
Who are the Roaches?
Because he's saying he corrected himself. Beat.
Okay, so are we gonna beat them? Is he saying are we gonna beat them?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's talking about Fisk.
Okay.
Fisk is a friend of both of our channels. His nickname for Washington is the Roaches. He gave him that like 2 years ago. So yeah.
Yeah, I think we're gonna sweep them, but there is also a possibility that we can just split with them. But I think we're gonna sweep them personally. But all right, guys. So that's pretty much the episode, guys. I'm gonna be coming up with a couple of videos soon about the schedule. So be on the lookout for that. Anything you want to plug in, Kush, before we go?
Not much to plug. I'm just gonna try and get well, the people in here, they probably have no need to watch it, but tomorrow's video is obviously going to be a schedule prediction one for those that couldn't catch the stream. Other than that, there's not much for me to plug. Denver Broncos fans need to calm down on Twitter because they really going hard saying that it's a sure W for them, which I found funny because I'm saying it's a sure W for us.
Yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
My friend that's a Tampa fan, he walked up to me today and was like, "Oh, you guys got an easy dub today, huh? You guys got an easy dub week 1, huh?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, the Denver Broncos. We'll see." I mean, like even other people are saying that we're gonna have an easy dub. So
we'll see how it goes, man. I can't.
Yeah.
the season can't come fast enough, and it's still like 6 months away.
I know, man. We're still in freaking May. There's still so much days without football to go before we actually get football.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, guys. So we will be talking to you guys soon. Next week, obviously, the Young Guns will be on the Hubs channel. Join us for episode 49. We're almost it's 50 episodes, dude. 50 episodes. So that if we make it to 52 episodes, that's a year. That's a whole year. So maybe we'll do something special for 50
Oh,
episodes
that
or maybe
makes sense.
52.
There's 52 weeks in a
Yeah.
year.
So hey, man, we did it. We did
What
it.
episode was this? Number what?
Huh? This is 48. 48
Oh, we're
now.
only 2 away. Bet we're only 2 away.
Cop is in the building. It sucks for you, Kyle. We're about to end it. So,
Yeah.
so that being said, guys, yeah, keep on the lookout. We got some videos coming out soon. I wanted to get some more, some stuff about the draft. I probably got a video about Kadarius Toney coming out soon. I made a couple of thumbnails just randomly, so I kind of want to use those soon for video. So,
Yeah.
that being said, guys, you guys stay safe out there.
Have a
And
good
we'll
one.
see, yeah, have a good one. We'll see you guys on the next episode.